Hello, everyone. So today we are addressing a new topic, which is using the third person in your writing. So when we talk about the third person, we know that there are also the first, and the second person, right? So how about the first and the second person? So those are the questions that you have. So let me show you how this appear in a report, okay, that you might have. Okay, so I will share a new screen and you can see a typical report that shows that you are not using third person effectively. Okay, so let's see. Here you go. So this is a report that we made for a candidate that took the NTU test #1 with us. And I know that about half the number of people who took the test received this type of comments in your report. You see, you should avoid using the first person in formal writing. Instead, you are advised to write in the third person to achieve formality in writing. Okay, so from here you can see that why should we use the third person? Because the third person would mean formality in writing, would mean that you are writing formally. Okay, so and as you scroll down a little bit, you can see the part #2 that list like this, the use of my, I throughout your writing. So the use of my, I throughout your writing means that you are writing in the first person. So let me summarize a little bit so that you can have a general idea. Okay, I can type right here. Okay, so I can type in the table. So look at this part. Okay, when we are talking about firstly, what does it mean by the first person? The first person. Okay, the first person, for example, you say you address yourself as I. You address yourself my life, for example. Okay, you address myself as yourself as in plural, for example, our, we. Okay, so you see in informal language, especially in spoken English, we often say we are one family, we should do this, we should do that, this is my life, this is our life. So it sounds very, very spoken in nature. Okay, the second person, you should not forget that there's a second person. Okay, the way that they say the second person. So the second person include, for example, you. Okay, you should do this if you become an entrepreneur. You would need to have a lot of bravery. You know, it sounds very spoken, like how I am addressing you right now. See, so going with that, you have all the it's relative. So you say you, yourself, your, okay. Same here, myself, ourself, and so on. So you see, those are the example of first and second person. So what about the third person? When we talk about the third person, normally we address, for example, they. Okay, you know that they, he, she, it, right? This problem, and so on. So this problem is actually another way to say it, right? So this problem, such phenomenon, okay, or people, okay, individuals. Okay, so you see there's a lot of examples for the third person. So to use the third person from here, you see there are more ways to use it. So in conclusion, we should aim to use the third person, okay, throughout your writing. If not, look at the report here again. You will not be able to exceed a mark of 25, okay, for the language component for any essay, okay, for both NTU and NUS, okay. So this is what I'm answering the question of what, okay, what does it mean and why should we use a third person, okay. But the hardest part would be the how, and that I would explain through examples. So let's relook at the two questions that we had for NTU test 1. Okay, I will share another new screen. Let's see, just a minute. All right, so here you go. Can you see? Okay, I'm opening this. Yes. Can you see the new screen? Seems not right. Here you go. All right. So here is the question for part A, the essay question. Okay. Now, so look at the two questions that NTU has. The first question that is very social in nature. That means they ask about social issues. It can be politics, economics, or education. Here, particularly, the topic is about parenting. Okay. The second question is a very personal question. What are your criteria for choosing your future career? Okay, write a formal essay explaining your view. So you see, the way that they put forward the question is very, very tricky because they call you yourself you. Okay, they are using the second person. Okay, and that may trick you into using the first person when you're writing. So that mistake, several of us did. Okay, so how to correct them? I chose one essay, one example for each of these questions so that you can have a better idea of how to correct them in different situations. Okay, so for the first question, okay, the social question, you will see how things can be corrected, can be proofread better. Okay, share a new screen here. Let me remember which one. This. Yes. So I chose one of our candidates' essays that were written in NTU Test 1, and the choice, question number 2. So let's come to question number 1 first. Okay, question number 1 is right here. You remember what question number 1 were? Okay. Okay, here you go. So let's relook at question number 1. Question number 1 is this. Okay, the concept of overparenting. Okay, I would paste it here. So this is question number 1. Okay. All right. To what extent do you agree with the following statement? Okay. So in this lesson, we are not discussing anything else other than the first, second, and third person. Okay. So we are not correcting grammatical errors. We are not correcting the language possibility. There's a lot of layers to it. So let's focus on just first, second, and third person. Okay, how to write everything in third person. So let's look at the first paragraph, which is the introduction. Okay. Now look at the first sentence. It is in, you can see, is it in first, third, first, second, or third person? Third person, right? You can see there's no I, you, or similarities, right? So this is fine. Okay, we are not worrying about that. Here, from my perspective, there are 3 criteria that I need to seriously take into consideration when choosing my future career. So obviously, this is the third person, the first person's language here. And the moment that you're writing this, your essay become much more informal, or in other words, much less formal. Okay. So how to write this, rewrite this, and make this become a more the third person language? Let's look further. Let's see. These criteria are personal talents, passion, income, and career prospects. Among these factors, I believe, okay, that personal passions and abilities are of greatest importance. Okay, so look at this highlighted part. Those are in first person. So let's think about how to change them into the first person. Okay, into the third person. Now here, I will not delete this part yet. I will put it here. Okay, so from my perspective, okay, so I can change this part like this. Okay, this part. Okay, let's look at it. You can say it like this. There. Let me. Okay. Yes. Okay, it showed this. Okay, there are 3. Which or that. Okay. You can call yourself, okay, the writer of this essay. Okay, this is a very, very good way to change for yourself. Okay, the writer of this essay takes, and remember it must be text because it's like she or he, right, into consideration when choosing. So depending on your gender, you can say his or her future career. Okay, these criteria are personal talents. These are, okay, among these factors. Okay, you can call yourself again this writer or this author. Author believes, you must have an S here. Okay, believes, the person with passion. So these, you see, these are very, very formal language. You make it much more formal by using the third person. Okay, I know that NTU there are many years, many, so like alternate years. So every 2 years, I see a personal question. And in order to achieve the best language component score possible, you should be able to write in the third person throughout consistently in your essay. Okay. So that's just a very small example. We will do much more. If I have time later, I will have a lot of sessions where we just upgrade the language. Okay. Cool. So let's look at the second examples. Let's look at the second examples that I already prepared here. So practice 2. Practice 2, I think is here. Yes. No, this is practice. Sorry, this is practice 1. Yeah, that's practice 1. Okay, so this already, yeah, this is a part about career. Okay, but we want to look at the part about here. Here you go. Okay. This one answers the question about tiger parenting. Just a minute. Actually, both chose to write in the first. Never mind. We will do a correction for the similar one, but I'm doing the let's look at the body number 1. Okay. High wages or consuming less time is not my first standard of choosing my career. You see, for me, it is crystal clear that the job I do will improve the role of the society. We are not talking about any other type of mistake now. Okay, I'm working not just for myself. Okay, you see, it sounds very informal, so that's why the comments inside the report say that your writing gives off a very strong informal tone. Okay, so high wages or consuming less time. Okay, how to correct it? Let's see. It's not the first. Okay, it's not the first. Okay, so you will delete this standard of choose, but the first is not this writer's first standard of choosing her or his career. So you should start to learn to feel comfortable by calling yourself his, her, right? Okay. Okay, career field. Actually, you don't need this in order to write, or you can say for him or for her. It's crystal clear that the job that she or he does, right, will improve the role. It's a motivation. Yeah, it's a motivation that stimulates him or her to work harder because he himself, I think he himself or she herself is a very good way to emphasize. Okay, acknowledges that he or she is working not just for his or her own life, but also for the whole community. Okay, so that's just introduction for first, second, and third person in writing. I hope that it explains a little bit, but we are coming back for a lot of other practices, okay, in terms of the first and the second person, so that you're writing whatever type of question you encounter for NTU or NUS will be able to achieve the best formal tone possible. That's it for today. Have a great time and see you for the next lesson.